Welcome to Talent Talks. Today, we're focusing on a crucial yet often overlooked aspect of digital marketing: how creative work is not just an artistic endeavor, but an operational challenge that directly affects your brand's profitability. For many DTC brand owners, the assumption is that creativity is all about visuals and designs. But in reality, it's about aligning your creative efforts with operational efficiency to drive real results. When the creative side isn't managed effectively, it can quickly turn into an operational bottleneck, draining resources and hurting your bottom line. We're excited to be joined by three experts who understand that creative execution is a key operational component in your marketing strategy. Coco Castro, Accounts Director at Behind the Scenes Studio, has a wealth of experience in managing creative teams and delivering high-impact projects that not only look good but perform well operationally. Paula Pangan, a seasoned UX designer and art director, knows how to streamline the creative process to ensure it drives conversions for DTC brands. And of course, my co-host Aycee, who will be a guest for today, CEO of Behind the Scenes Studio, brings first-hand insights into how fractional creative teams can help brands like yours overcome these operational hurdles without the overhead of an in-house team. In today's episode, we'll show you how creative work, when properly managed, becomes an operational asset that drives profitability. We'll dive into key strategies that will help you streamline your creative processes and avoid common pitfalls, and get the most out of your marketing budget. Let's get started and turn creative into an efficient, profit-driving part of your business operations. Hi, Aycee, Paula, Coco.
Hi. Hello. Thank you for having us.
Right. Let's dive in with the first question. We want you to share your role in BTS Studio and how your specific expertise contributes to a DTC brand's digital marketing success.
Yeah, I can go first. So basically, with behind the scenes as the CEO, I oversee the operations, the manpower, the resources. But when it comes to DTC clients, I'm often part of the scoping, especially in the very beginning. What are the things that they wanted to accomplish? What are their top performing ads so that we can use it as a benchmark, and the narrative of their product? So yeah, that's what I do.
All right. Maybe I'll go next. Hi, I'm Coco. Yeah. So I'm the client coordinator and more or less, I guess, the creatives team manager for accounts in BTS Studio. So I basically make sure that I get client instructions, make sure the brand book is cascaded well to our creatives, and then we make sure that we deliver all of the expectations of our clients.
Thank you, Coco. And Paula?
Okay, so hi, I work as an art director for BTS for Behind the Scenes, and I work with Aycee and Coco. So I design ads for diverse clients from fashion, travel, health, food, and a lot more from different industries. I work with also diverse graphic designers and video editors coming from different fields.
All right. Thank you for sharing your background. My next question is actually driving profitability connected, and I wanted you to answer the question based on your responsibility. Aycee, you being the CEO, and you're present in all discovery calls with the clients in the beginning, even before they sign up for a contract, and then once they sign up, Coco will be the lead project lead for communications, anything alignment, project management, and then Paula is more of execution. So probably you'll have different questions. Probably you'll have different answers for this question. Like, what are the common mistakes you see DTC brands making with their creative approach that might be hurting their profitability, and how do you help them avoid the pitfalls?
I think one thing that I am seeing right now is that the heavy reliance on freelancers. I'm not saying that I'm not into freelancers, but one thing that behind the scenes studios is giving is that we already we honed and then we source the top talents from the Philippines. It's just like we already take the first step of making sure that whoever is in the team are people who can deliver. So one thing that is difficult with just freelancer going to a freelancer versus to an agency as a service, sometimes you don't know if it will work with your freelancer. And then if you hire them, it's just along the way will you know if it will work or not. So in the second or third month. But with the hire as an agency, at least we can deliver results already on the first month. So not to say that we're being the best, but it's just like we really, really do our best in sourcing the right talents for the clients whom we're working with.
And Aycee, this is the debate that I've been waiting to happen because as everyone knows, more staffing is staffing independent contractors, not just freelancers, but independent contractors. And there are instances wherein we'll have a discovery call with a client and then they will say, we need a graphic designer, a video editor, content creator, and then they will need like 10 hours of one, 20 hours of the other position, full-time of other position. So we're going to discuss with them how hiring process works. So in more staffing, as you've mentioned, we find talents who are looking to have a long-term commitment. At the same time, we're sourcing and headhunting them. So even if they have another job, we are going to invite them and offer them the position. So when they do the interview, hire the talent, and eventually it did not work out, we feel really responsible for the talent's sake because after a few, like 1 month, usually it takes a month to 1 to 3 months for the client to say that this is not working. So I think that's the point that you shared earlier is making sure that deciding how to go with your talent, either in-house or either agency, depends on the type of management that you have or the level of your company as well, or the type of income or the how huge or how low is the income that is currently generating for your brand. So definitely something that we do, at least for us, when we see that the client is not ready to hire a full-time or long-term commitment. Like, for example, they need project-based of 3 to 6 months. And that is the time that we are always referring the client to you and then saying that discuss this with BTS because I think agency will work better. Yep. And then we are also experiencing sometimes some calls in more staffing discovery call wherein they're coming from an agency and they're now ready to hire full-time. So there's that another angle that they want to either they hire someone internally to manage and then they have like a marketing director to manage. So hiring an agency, or like firing the agency and then moving to the talent. But this is really a good like opportunity for the DTC owners to, especially in the startup phase, is to have that flexibility and adaptability because one video editor can do like just video editing and sometimes they can do graphics but not as expert in video editing. But with your BTS, I think, Coco, to explain this further, like you have team of different experts and then you're managing that whole team in the project management. So just to get back with the question, what are the common mistakes that you see in DTC brands when you're doing the actual work already?
Yeah, so I think for, at least on my side, I see two common mistakes. Number one on the creative side and number two on the creative team side. On the creative side, I see a lot of brands actually kind of over investing in complex creative ideas that they see out there that they just want to follow without like actual performance data or without actual research or checking even with creatives if they feel that this is something that would work or this is something that would align to their brand standards, to their brand identity. And then the other one that I see is also not, I guess in a way, not investing in the growth of their creative talents, because they usually reflect your brand and they're the ones who actually actualize, who translate your brand into these ads or these creatives. So I feel that it is actually their responsibility to nurture the growth of these creatives and to make sure that they also grow with the brand, that they're not just, robots trying to do one thing and one thing and one thing. Because if they do nurture the creative growth of their talents, in turn, the talents will also nurture the creatives and the growth of their entire business. So I feel, those are the two things that I think some DTC brands miss out.
In addition to that, I think this also goes not only for DTC brands, but with the creatives as well. So sometimes the DTC brands may have often struggle with brand consistency, failing to maintain a unified voice. Factors may be because of the ever-changing trends. It's very fast-paced, always changing. And then sometimes they want to be updated right away, but on the other hand, they may have overlooked, customer insights, which is more important. They're not sure if like those trends should be applied to their campaigns. But I think the most important here is not to overlook the customer insights. I think if the brand has like clear goals with enough research and just simplifying their communication, I think brands can enhance more engagement and improve their profitability.
This is something that I myself as a business owner is suffering from. Like the social media is most of the time good, but sometimes it's also giving me so much pressure that I'm seeing a lot of competitors do these things, and then I will get back to our marketing. This competitor is doing XYZ, and I want to do ABC, and it's like and then understanding if there's no understanding or there's no research that I did to make sure that it will move the needle for us. But I'm also I can attest to this experience because it feels like I'm missing on something if I'm slower, if I'm not doing this. I think the most important part that helped me is actually having Aycee and Greg during leadership call every week, wherein Greg is always saying that your competition is yourself, not other group, not other company. That makes me, whenever I see any competitor do something in social media, post something, it makes me like pause for a while, is to think about, will this be a good use of our time, of my time, delegating and giving instruction in the time of our marketing team in doing any changes in our strategy. Yeah. So I feel attacked. But definitely I am aware. I am aware, and thank you for reminding me that it can happen. But Aycee, how do you help a business owner pause and think about what strategy should be done, or if they want changes, like I want to do this after seeing this from TikTok or something? Do you have that discussion with your client?
So usually with client management, the client is always right. So in that angle, it's just like we make sure that we please them, we deliver what we want, we deliver what they want, and then we provide variations and just like, all right, this is what you wanted, but how about this look and feel? Would you consider this? Because sometimes in video editing tools, like they have their own storyboard already. They have their script. But there are certain hooks that can be used because we are a third-party partner. So we see the brand from the outside perspective. So we have fresh eyes to see it. So I think that's one thing that we can be of help because we're not internally ingrained being within the company. It's like having a fresh perspective with what can be the hooks, what can be the highlight, and then it's just a different way of approaching it. And Coco is actually really good doing in terms of hooks and maybe can add in terms of what I just mentioned.
Yeah, normally with clients, we really strike a balance because you can't really say no, right? You can't do an outright, no, we can't do this, sorry. It doesn't work that way. So it's usually yes. And then we present other, as Aycee mentioned, other ways of doing it. Or sometimes clients actually like that they feel you're also thinking for their brand. They see that you also care for the brand and you want to drive profitability to the brand. So I guess somehow it gets appreciated too when you say yes, and then I have suggestions. Why don't we do it this way?
I think for me, I learned in Paula's perspective. It's just like Paul
Yes,
as director. It's just like, how do you handle it?
Oh, yeah, but it's also the same as what you just said. Of course, I will do what the client said and would also give recommendations. So it's usually one study with what they want and then another set of studies of what I would recommend. And then I would ask my teammates what do they think of it, because fresh eyes would really help. It goes a long way.
Yes.
Because sometimes what you think is not enough. Or then sometimes and another idea, you might get another idea from your colleague or your teammate. So the idea just gets better and better.
Yeah.
Yes, actually a usual
It's a
conversation.
team effort.
Yeah, between me and Paula would be, Paula, can you just do this one thing and then let's see how else we can help them. So, and then they provide the variations for it.
Yeah.
But Aycee and Coco, with the delay, like for example, in the beginning of working together, there's a scope, there's a target, and then you will close the deal, and this will be the payment. But because of those requests that they see, your target timeline also gets delayed, or some work instead. Like some of your artists might be already doing editing in a specific project, and then there's a request for change, and of course you want to support the client by agreeing to do it. How do you communicate delays, and how do you communicate the impact on the timeline so that yes, you can support, but here are the consequences of this if it didn't work out?
I think to share with that, I have a specific client that I'm working with right now that we have deliverables of 6 concepts in a month. And with that 6 concepts, you have variations that you have to deliver. But then it's just like we're having difficulty nailing down the first concept. So what we've done is that, all right, the client himself was the one who said, let's hold this first. Let's hold this first concept and let's move on to the next concept. I think that's why there is really a partnership with the client. It's like they kind of know and have the idea of how long it will take. But there are certain instances wherein if you think another editor can do it, I add another editor in the client. Just so that instead of consequential when the or succeeding projects, it's like you're doing it asynchronously, 2 at a time.
Yeah, and to add to that, with our clients, we're normally very transparent with our schedule. So they see how we sort of traffic control the creatives. So every day we really give out, okay, this is our priority list. Are you sure? If we do this, then we're gonna have to bump off another priority that's there. And then another thing is sometimes we also adjust on our end. Like for example, creatives would do a bit of OT, which they will offset in another day when it's not so busy. So we do both ways. So the client adjusts and we adjust also.
Yeah. And I think more than the delay as well, it's like sometimes the client doesn't know what they want until they saw their first draft.
Right. Yeah.
So it's just like when they see that, oh, we can do this something else, we can do this a different angle or a different direction. It's just like, guys, this is a completely different concept, okay? So it means it will take longer to do this. Is that okay with you? Because it's just like, you really have to partner with the client and it's not a one-way street.
And connected to that, especially if the DTC brand is in the startup phase with a limited budget, how can they maximize the value of working with a creative team like BTS? Are there specific areas where what are the specific areas that they can invest to in creative that will pay off in terms of profitability?
I think with profitability in that angle, it's like sometimes it's so difficult to just say, okay, this design will give you this amount of ROI. It's like sometimes it's indirect. And sometimes you don't see it in the first month or two of the engagement with the agency. So there's really a learning curve and the likes. But what can be done is that for the DTC operators to be very, very clear of their value proposition. What do they want for the clients to do, think, and feel with their products? Because once they can verbalize that very clearly, it's so much easier to create art and create ads and having really good quality output. It's just like garbage in, garbage out. So DTC owners really need to be able to verbalize what are the things that they wanted to accomplish when they are providing briefs to the artists. And then it's very difficult to share right away with profitability, but definitely the clearer you are, the faster that things are done. And then it will help Paula to really do her work faster and creatively. And Paula, if something that you wanted to add in that.
Yes. It's really, I guess, to add to what Aycee said, it really shortens the time of like getting back and forth of submission of studies if the client already knows what they want. I've seen like other clients who are very reactive because they still don't know what they want yet. So it like one project that could have been like a week's worth, it was extended to like a month because of they didn't know yet what they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and to add to that, we normally ask the client, okay, now that you know what you want, let's make sure, again, it's two things. One, it's scalable to your different channels, so you're able to use it, whether email, social media, ad placements, and two, hopefully, because sometimes they still want to do like promo-centric, for example, for ads, promo-centric creatives. And we always say, maybe let's do something that's timeless, something that you can post again a year after, in case, just so they see also the value of what the creatives are able to churn out from what they give us.
As we wrap up this episode of Talent Talks, we hope you've gained valuable insights into how creative work isn't just about aesthetics. It's a key part of your operational strategy that can significantly impact your profitability. From aligning your creative efforts with your business goals to streamlining processes that maximize efficiency, today's conversation with these three very experienced team has shown that the right approach to creative can be a powerful driver for growth. A huge thank you to Coco, Paula, and Aycee for sharing their expertise on how DTC brands or any client can turn creative challenges into opportunities for profit. Their unique perspectives have highlighted how a well-executed creative strategy, when treated as an operational priority, can lead to measurable success. If you're a DTC brand owner looking to optimize your creative processes and drive profitability, make sure to take these strategies to heart. And remember, when managed properly, creative isn't just another task on your to-do list. It's a powerful tool for scaling your business. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talent Talks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paula.
Thanks.